watching the.
Oh, you're like that, but not because of watching the World Cup, but it's because you're out and golfing till like 2 a.m. and drinking.
He's not golfing. He's golfing till like 9. And
then goes out to drink. And then he goes home. So that's why you're puffy-eyed and all of that. Not because of the women. Don't blame it on the women. The women ain't the reason.
Yo, what is going on, and welcome to another episode of the Urban Pitch Podcast, the beautiful game of life, part of the Believe Network. I'm Ramsey Abushala, editor of UrbanPitch.com. We got the co-executive directors of Vibes in the building. What is going on, y'all?
We did not just record a 30-minute video and did not record anything.
Now, this might be our second take.
Might be our second take.
Might be take 2 of the podcast, but we're here. We're pushing through obstacles. We're pushing through adversity because that's
what we do.
It's not about how hard you get hit. It's how fast you get up after you get hit.
How fast you go in. Hey. No. Not how fast. Hey.
It's not about how you fall. It's about how you get up.
Right. It's not about how hard you get hit. It's how you get up after you get hit.
I'm not trying to get hit. I'm just trying to fall.
Rocky said it better. No. What?
It's all in the motion of the ocean.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here, but we got lots to talk about. That we didn't get into all the stuff that we were going to get into. So let's start at the top. All so right. Big news in the soccer world. Neymar,
read all about it.
Yeah, our guy Neymar heading to Saudi Arabia on Al-Hilal, $100 million a year. He's got the private jet on deck. He's got the mansion with the staff on deck.
He's got it all.
It's not. I wouldn't say it's like an entirely surprising move. I would say maybe a little disappointing for this at this stage of his career. But I understand it where he's coming from. I mean, it's a bag. But what are y'all's thoughts on this move from Neymar and where it kind of lands him in his legacy?
Okay, I am just gonna say I was talking to someone about this, and I said at some point in some time in my conversations with someone. The conversation was Mbappe denied and rejected the Saudi offer. Yep. So for me, it was like, well, if Mbappe rejected, there's no way Neymar's going to go. Did not expect Neymar to take it. Now he's taking it. It's been confirmed that he's off to Saudi. And I'm a little shooketh. I didn't expect that to happen. Shooketh. But he did. And I don't know. I don't think that it defines like the end of his career, but I think that it is stating that he's probably just ready to go somewhere off.
Yeah.
From
his
like
his
what
time
he's
in
been
Europe is done.
He's good off of European anything, and he's ready to go into something else.
It seems like a money grab to me.
Yeah.
This player was, like I said, forgot who was saying it too as well. This player was set to be Jordan, but he never lived up to that legacy. Injuries. But he was so important to the culture when he first came out at 16 with Santos, to the point where like he won everything young but that World Cup trophy. He was a Champions League winner with Barcelona, but a lot of his thing was like, now that he's leaving Barcelona, like
he wanted to step out of that shadow.
Yeah, can he win it? And he never did. He never won another.
Came close,
but it never did. So yeah, it's just one of those players with had a huge upside, just never panned out. Like most Brazilians, around 31, 32, that's when they hit their downfall. But you were saying earlier that there's a lot of meat in his bones still. There's still a lot of soccer to be played in those legs. So hopefully this is not the end of all be all.
Yeah, I mean, he's 31 years old. You take a look at what he's accomplished. Is there more to be wanted from his career? Sure. But if you take away the context of Neymar and who he was, and you just look at what he's accomplished, kind of like some of the stuff that, I mean, people talk about Freddie Adu and his career. This is obviously on a much smaller scale, but they always say how much of a bust he was. You take a look at that guy's career, all things considered, pretty good. Same thing with Neymar, but even more. This is a guy, was part of the greatest front three of all time. MSN. He played at the highest level with the greatest player of all time and was right there with them, step for step.
1-2.
At points was saving Barcelona, like single-handedly. That PSG comeback was crazy. Like, when he was with Barcelona and I forget what the deficit that they had to come back from.
But I think that's what stains his like career more though, because he was set to be number one, but he was always top 3 in the world for like about 10 years.
Yeah.
10 years just because they had that Messi.
But
Cristiano.
also that's just because Messi and Ronaldo are on another level. They're like superhuman type deals.
No, but I beg to differ though, because I feel like when he was like 21 to 24, if he was not there.
BetOnline is your #1 source for all your betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchups reports for baseball, boxing, golfing, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games, available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts.
He was there.
Sure, but okay, so a lot of, and this goes beyond Neymar, but a lot of like the conversations about soccer and success and what, like, who's had a successful career, all the comparisons get brought up to with Messi and Ronaldo and what they have been doing for the past 20 years pretty much. That is a stretch that is like, that won't be replicated for another generation. Like, these guys are one in a million, and it kind of dilutes the conversation around what makes for a successful career in football. When, you know, it's like you say like, oh, this guy, he's only won 2 Champions Leagues. Like, what? Like, you know, that's not even that good. It's like, yo, that's still, there's like, just because you're not on that level, which is like superhuman alien type level, you know, like
they're out here.
Yeah.
Hey, yo,
yeah.
my aunt said that we were talking about Messi coming to the MLS. No, she did. And she said that, no, this guy, she literally said that she believes that Messi is an alien, like that he's an alien and that he looks like one, and that there's no way he's human.
We gotta hit the YouTubes, put our tinfoil hats on, because I believe it. I believe
100%. My aunt was like, no, I don't believe he's human. He doesn't look human. He looks demonic. He looks like he's an alien.
The lady on the plane.
He's not real. That's my aunt.
Hey, shout out
and she 100% stands for it. The fact that she knows who Messi is, though, I'm like, okay, Tia, like, shout out to you for knowing who he is. But she really thinks that he's not a real human. And I mean, I don't know. I guess we'll find out. But I forgot. You guys were, I don't know.
No,
that's
but
what she said.
But shout out to my 90s babies. There used to be a show back in, I believe, Fox, that it basically said like all these celebrities there are aliens. Shaq, I think Shaq was one. And it was different celebrities. But shout out to my 90s babies.
That's just opening the conspiracy theories that have taken over today. But I mean, so you look at Neymar's career. It's like I said, there's a lot more to that you think he could have accomplished, but I don't think, like, people are calling him a failure, people are calling him a disappointment. I don't think that's too much of a stretch.
The ladies call him a great time.
Yeah, I mean, this is a guy who he knows, like, he was one of the 3 best footballers alive at one point.
He's someone that you think about when you're growing up and you're like, I want to be like Neymar, I want to be like Messi, I want to be like Ronaldo. Yeah. Like, he's up there with the top 3.
And he certainly had an impact on the culture. Yeah. Like Julio was mentioning.
Neymar was the culture.
Yeah,
Neymar brought in the culture aspect of things.
Yeah, you mentioned like the Jordan comparison. I don't like making the intersport comparisons a lot, because like a lot of times, like, they're made and it's kind of forced and it's overdone. But I see like Neymar's career and what he accomplished, and I kind of compare that to Allen Iverson a little bit, because they kind of had like similar they have that talent, right? They're both like really small humans. Mm-hmm. Like, you'd look at them, like if you saw Allen Iverson and you didn't know it was Allen Iverson, you just think like, oh, that's just another guy on the street. Right. You wouldn't think that that's one of the greatest basketball players of all time, who had one of the greatest crossovers, quickest first steps ever, like just one of the most athletic humans to ever walk the planet. Neymar's on that same level, where he has that talent, that he just has undeniable like talent that comes from like a frame that's like you wouldn't think twice about it if you lined up against him. You're like, oh, that's just another dude, you know. But he just has that kind of otherworldly talent. Didn't really kind of pan out to the full potential, but he still accomplished a lot, and he had that impact on the culture. You know, he's
the dances.
He's taking pictures with rappers. He's doing the Jordan collaborations before that was a thing with PSG. Cement, hypervenoms. You know, he's taking pictures with Michael Jordan. Like, that's one of his idols. You know, yeah. So I think, all things considered, it's impossible to look at Neymar's career and say that was a disappointment.
Right.
I understand where they're coming from when they say
Neymar
that.
at the final NBA finals, because he was a great fan of Jimmy Butler and Michael.
Yeah, him and Jimmy Butler are boys.
So this it just shows like the impact on the culture that Neymar has had. Like, don't get me wrong, Messi's been great for all those years, but Messi, Cristiano, they carried themselves like superstars. Like Neymar was for the people. Like you said, the comparison with Allen Iverson is known that he was a fan of the nightlife.
And I think on that end too, kind of like CP3, Neymar also has the realities of what like injuries can do to you as a player. Right. And I feel like Neymar had the opportunity to be as great and one of a kind as Ronaldo and Messi, but the injuries kind of got to him, and like the realities behind injuries got to him, and he is where he is now, unfortunately, because no one can ever really escape or get away from what an injury can do on a body. And I feel like that just, he's not a superhuman. Like he is a person who goes through things and wants to play great soccer, but has been impacted by things that just can't be avoided. And it could be that going to the Saudi League is something for him to kind of like, I mean, like, let's be real, like, right, they got good players, they got big names, but like, do you really think that he's thinking like, oh, I'm about to get, schooled and be in a high competitive space? Although, like, he said in that interview, like, he said in an interview saying like, going off to Saudi League is going to be like an opportunity for me to like go into what I want, which is like to become a global name and make soccer a global thing.
Where you been
global?
I'm
just like, he has been global. Like the fact that Saudi wants you.
Mr. Worldwide.
He is Mr. Worldwide. So I'm just like, that's I don't know. But
the injuries are like, people will say like, oh, if he cared more, if he took more care of his body.
Right.
But that injury, the first one that he had, the big one in Brazil at the World Cup 2014, that was a freak injury. Like that dude, that was a dirty ass play.
Colombian.
Like,
you look Colombian.
There's a little too much hate in those.
Hey, chill.
All her cousins. They're all Colombian.
Hey, they're about to come for you.
But. So like that, there's nothing he could have done to prevent that. And had that not happened, that Brazil World Cup, he was playing out of his mind. I think they probably win if he stays healthy and they don't lose 7-1 to Germany. For sure, they don't lose 7-1 to Germany. And then and maybe we get an Argentina Brazil World Cup final. Like, come on, like it was definitely not. Scripted that year because they had the chances to make it scripted.
If I'm mistaken, I feel like his contract is over
in 2 years.
2025, like January 2026, so like December 2025. So like it gives him that window to come back for that World Cup prior to that World Cup in the US. Come back to the US and be like, all right, I've been out of the big soccer scene for about 2 years, but now here, welcome back, Batman.
Right.
Because he compares to Batman.
He loves the Joker and Batman. And
so we'll be more welcome back Joker. Like,
do you guys think that at that point he's gonna want to come back to the MLS, or he's gonna?
Where else would he go?
Exactly.
Especially
well, that's the question. Like, what is he gonna do after that?
All eyes are gonna be on you because you're coming to America. Like, first of all, Messi is like running this league at the age that he will be when he comes over here.
Yeah.
So this brings you back because if you're playing in Saudi Arabia, there's a lot of Brazilians playing higher level teams, same position, higher level league. So this will be your chance to like come back to the world and be like, boom, here I am. What's up?
Yeah. I mean,
where we at?
Yeah, this
outside.
I'll
take you out at LA.
A purely financial move, and I mean, at this point in his career, he's figured, look, I've done pretty much all there is to do in Europe. I had my chance at a Champions League solo without Messi or Suarez or the Barcelona crew. It didn't work out. I think Mbappe missed that final against Bayern Munich in 2020, but it just didn't work out for him. And he's thinking, you know what, my time in Europe is probably over. I'm gonna go to get this cool 200 mil. Maybe come to MLS afterwards because he's indicated that that's a potential move for him. Maybe even get a call up to the World Cup in 2026 in the US if that plays out. Sometimes they'll bring out the elder statesmen on the Brazil teams to kind of mentor those younger guys.
But he still has a lot of skill.
He still has a lot of skill, and he still will. I think have there's still that there's still some tread left on those tires. And I think the move to MLS is like, where else would he go at that point? Like after this, Europe is out of it. It's Brazil, re-sign in Saudi or MLS. And I mean, at this point, I think if you're him with the World Cup and the U.S. at that point, I think MLS is probably the most attractive option for him come 2 years from now. But we'll see where he ends up. I hope he at least takes it a little bit serious in Saudi Arabia, because if he wasn't taking European soccer as serious as he could, I don't know what he's going to be doing in
Let me
Saudi
ask you
Arabia.
guys something. Have you guys watched any of Ronaldo's?
No.
No.
I haven't watched a second of Saudi Arabian soccer, and I don't think I will.
It?
I rarely watch the World Cup games.
Dude, I'm so curious. Like, I would love to know, like, if we have any followers that watch any of the Saudi League games. Like, I'm super, like, honestly curious to know who watches these games.
Hey, how hard are you writing this guy?
How do you watch these games? And then also, like, how is it? Like, what's the team's, like, statistics? Like, what are the player statistics? What are the standings here? And
El Bicho and 10 more people.
Yeah.
And if
seriously.
And if Neymar goes, like, is he gonna have an impact on the Saudi League? And has Cristiano had an impact on the Saudi League?
Oh,
I think this year now with like Benzema, Riyad Mahrez, N'Golo Kante, Neymar, all these like pretty big names.
People that went.
Yeah,
right.
I think that's going to generate at least some people are going to check it out. If it's trash, I'm like, yo, forget this,
Yeah.
But for me, I spend too much time watching MLS to watch the Saudi League and MLS.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
that's what I'm
like. I gotta value my time at some point.
That's right, King.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, I got you obviously got the European leagues. You got MLS. You got NWSL. You got the Women's World Cup. You got
UPSL. We watch UPSL. Would you watch UPSL before Saudi?
Would I watch UPSL if the game is in my backyard? I'm not gonna watch it on like I would go to a UPSL game.
No,
because
but I'm saying, like, if you had to. Would you make time to watch UPSL
Nisa?
or Saudi League?
Nisa? Maybe I'd watch Nisa. I watch USL. I would watch USL before Saudi. Because of like, if it was
Oakland
like
Roots. Shout out to the Oakland
If
Roots.
it was like an
All
Oakland
right,
Roots game,
all right,
you know what I mean?
all right.
Or even
USL makes sense.
even Sac Republic, or
And we have a lot of collabs with the
yeah,
USL team. Shout out to
Like,
them.
I'll watch USL, but
Yeah, literally the switch. Oakland Roots versus I think the Switchbacks. They have two Salvadorians there. Probably that's the reason I'll watch it.
Yeah.
Tamacas against Enrico. So, I mean, not Enrico. Enriquez, I believe, but whatever the guy's name is.
Yeah.
I'll watch that before I watch.
Whatever his name is, but I know
Shout out to El
Tamacas.
Salvador before I watch like any Saudi.
Yeah. I don't even know, where do we watch it?
I don't even know.
I don't know
I don't even know.
Be in sport.
I don't even know.
I don't even know how to pronounce the name still.
Reddit, you search Saudi stream
on
on Reddit. Yeah, I don't know.
They're like, bro, what are you looking for?
You get put on a government watch list.
Hey, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's a Julio comment right there.
That's the other thing about it too. It's just like they're taking all these big names and like they're getting on. Okay, so like personally, you're taking Benzema, you're taking Kante, you're taking Neymar, you're taking Ronaldo, and you're taking them off my grid. Like, I'm not watching them anymore. Like, thank you, next. You know what I'm saying? Like Ariana Grande type of vibes. Yeah, like I'm not worried about them anymore because I don't watch them. That's how I am on a personal level.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to know, like, have these moves made anything bigger for Saudi? And maybe yes, they have, because who am I?
Yeah.
But
I am him. Who are you?
According to Pulisic fans, who am I? Right?
For real.
But
Maria.
Yo, that's out of pocket. Out of pocket. Yo, Christian Pulisic stands, y'all are crazy.
Y'all are
first of all, you're standing
doing
for
the
Christian
most.
Pulisic. Number
Also-
one. Number two, you guys are out of control in these comments.
also, all this talk and y'all want to follow me. Like, no. Like, go away. Ain't nobody trying to follow you. But anyway, yeah.
Shout out to
I'm
Brigitte.
just curious.
Yeah.
Shout out to the haters. They make me famous. But I'm not going to let you follow me. And on period. Get out of my house. Ain't nobody got time for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, curious. Like, that's just what I'm curious on. Like, how big is this gonna make the Saudi League? Is it gonna change any? Is it gonna like create an influx for him? I don't know. I don't.
I feel like we talked about the Saudi League way too much already. Like,
I mean, maybe this is what they're trying to have. Like,
so over it already.
trying to have us talk about them.
Yeah,
I'm just curious.
I'm with you though. I'm not watching any of that. I'm not like
You're
Neymar.
just taking away guys from
I'll
me.
watch Neymar 2015 highlights. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
you know,
I think we'll
with some
see-
trash like EDM song playing in the
Right.
back.
There's more traction on the Neymar highlights on YouTube than there will be on his
For
games
real.
in
Yeah.
Saudi.
Yeah.
So
100%.
I stayed
we'll
up for
see
the
you out
Women's
here in the
World Cup.
MLS.
Yeah.
In the MLS, Neymar. anymore.
I stayed up for the Women's World Cup, and that's the only thing I'm staying up for. The U.S. is gone, and I'm barely staying up now. Like, once the U.S. is gone, like, is this even a World Cup anymore? Like, I don't even care no more.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
It is, and it's a game changer.
I mean, Spain, Sweden was crazy.
USA, England.
USA. We talked
Hey,
about.
listen. I feel like this is okay. As much as I would have loved to see the girls from the U.S. make it far, I also feel like it was like a little like
humbling experience.
Sit down, sit down, because we are also them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And like, as much as I love who we have on the team now, I also feel like it was a realization of like, you're not that team anymore, because thankfully, and like on a blessed level, like we have so many other people and like countries investing in their women's sports, and the women's soccer is taking off, and I love to see it, and I love to be like, and I love to see that it's a competition, but for good reasons, right?
100%.
Like Jamaica's making a name for themselves, Colombia's making a name for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, we see Japan making a name. Everybody, the underdog. Yeah. Everybody wasn't like, didn't expect
Japan,
that. Australia,
I was heartbroken for Japan.
I feel the same way. I feel the same way, and I would.
And it was to Sweden too.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah,
I was happy Sweden was gone after with Spain. I was going hard for Spain.
That just felt like a little back to back.
Yeah, that last Swedish girls, that Spain Sweden game was crazy though.
It was
scoreless. It was scoreless till like the 84th.
Oh,
Spain goes up, Sweden ties it, and like 88th or 89th. Spain wins it. I was going crazy, man. Like, it was.
I'm glad Spain won though, because
I think the girl plays for Barcelona scored the first goal.
No, the first goal was the 19-year-old, and then the second goal I think was the girl from Barcelona. I think I don't know.
I didn't watch the highlights or the recap, but I love the fact that like Spain has made it to the final. Like, for the first time, they haven't even been in the top 3 in any of the World Cups, if I'm not mistaken.
So all three
to see them go straight to the final, insane.
Yeah.
The fact that the U.S. isn't even in the top 3, insane. The fact that Sweden tried to take it and didn't, insane. Like, it's just been like crazy, like unpredictable things that I think are helping the Women's World Cup become bigger and better. But also, it's just like, it's giving more opportunities for women's soccer. And I love to see that. And I think that everything that has happened this year is just going to only help every single women's soccer team, whether it's country-wise, state-based, academy, club. Like, it's just going to flourish.
Yeah, and like whoever wins is going to be a new World Cup winner
in
the women's game. So shout out to that.
I love that.
I still have England taking it all.
I want Spain
Hopefully
to take it.
It's going to be the battle of the languages. Spain against England.
I low-key hope Australia beats.
I had
We're recording this way ahead of time, so
it's an underdog story, but like I want England to take it. To be honest.
So we're recording this a week in advance. By the time this releases, the final will have been played. So
we'll see who.
We'll see. I don't want to get too much into the weeds of who's gonna make it and like who.
But you said Australia. I said Spain. He said England.
I'm rooting for Australia. I have England.
Australia.
I have England as my winner.
Okay.
I've had them since.
Always with the neutral vibes.
How's that neutral?
Pick one.
No. I'm rooting for Australia.
One.
My pick is England. That's a pick.
Okay, so you're picking England. You're picking England.
But I'm rooting.
I'm picking you.
I choose you, baby.
Oh, that's so annoying.
So I mean, but let's talk about, since we can't really talk about the actual on pitch stuff, the vibes at the World Cup this year.
Over it already because the U.S. is out.
I know. So that's what I was gonna ask you. So my previous experience with Women's World Cups was like, I'm riding with the U.S. the whole way. And when we lost, like, I was like in disbelief because it was 5 a.m. I was like on 0 hours of sleep. I
one eye open.
I could not process.
Julio didn't respond in the chat.
Yeah, no, Julio was. We
lost him at the final.
No,
towards the final.
I don't remember.
I was already over because first of all, like,
because you guys were going back to back first half, and I think that's when I woke up. And then halftime started, and we were all there.
I was just so over. Like, if I would have been on that conversation, I would have been talking trash. Rapinoe, like,
they brought her in for free or for penalty kicks, and
I just can't get over.
I can't
get over her grin. Like,
I texted him out. I was like, "Yo, Rapinoe's automatic." Because if you look at her career penalty kicks, she's been automatic. And in that moment, I mean, I just speechless. And then
for such an outspoken player, like
okay.
I don't think that has anything to do with it.
It has a lot to do with me.
I think
like
it was
she
a bad.
could be outspoken and do like what she's done for great reasons, but when it comes to penalties, let's be honest, like I don't know. It's just like I feel like it was the trajectory of how the team was doing that led her to.
It was bad vibes. It's been bad vibes with the team. They deserved to win that game, but they did not deserve to be in that game because they should have lost to Portugal. And it all evens out.
There was a lot of rumors that the coach lost the team way before.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we were talking about that.
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna be here.
No,
he shouldn't. He's done. Freaking once up, man. That guy's
yeah.
Another Greg Berhalter type.
I mean, honestly, it's different. It's different because the ingredients that Berhalter has versus the ingredients that Vlatko has is completely different.
What's crazy? We're talking about Berhalter, we're talking about Vlad, and how bad of coaches that they've been, and how like that shows from their team. I don't know if you guys have heard, but there's a lot of talk about the Spain's women team.
Well, that their coach is terrible too.
Exactly.
Their coach
but
is trash.
What are they doing? They're coming together and showing him that without like who you are, like they're just like they're uniting and being the team that they are. I feel like to show like, we don't care about what you think and what you do because we are a team and we're the ones representing the country.
I mean, that's one way to think about it too. But the Spain coach, he's like somebody's son, and
he hasn't been calling anything.
He's been horrible, bro.
The whole team opposes and is not okay with him.
Yeah.
He's been doing some really like shady stuff to them.
They came out in protest for him, and they're still playing for him, you know. But he brought in Alexia Putellas, probably the best player, like one of the 3 best players in the world right now on the women's side, and he was bringing her in like the 90th minute. You know what I mean? Like it's like what are we doing here?
Yeah.
And so like he's had a lot more trouble than Vlatko has.
But the girls
they're at the finals.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Only because you don't respect the division doesn't mean it's not working.
What I do appreciate though is the Netherlands losing after all that talk that they were doing.
Talking trash.
Yeah, they're out here talking trash. I was happy for them to lose.
Bye.
So yeah, exactly. Yeah. Shout out Sydney Leroux was out here talking her talk.
But like nobody should be talking.
Oh, so you think like women should be silenced?
Oh my God, no!
I'm saying
like, if you're a loser, don't talk. Like, wins. Oh no, she's a champion though. She was not part of the team, so yeah, she got the right. Sydney, I'm sorry, baby.
Yeah, Sydney is a World Cup champion.
Sorry, baby.
Yeah, sit down.
I'm just kidding. Obviously, Julio. I was fishing for some content.
And Sarah Gordon, I apologize for calling Sydney, maybe.
Yeah. You're crazy, bro. You're crazy.
Shoot, baby.
Yes. What? Yeah, but I mean, I think it's definitely been different at this World Cup because I don't have the same investment as I would without the US. Now. But I mean, when I watch these games, it's not the same like visceral excitement that you have, but it's like, oh shoot, like damn, like Spain just scored
crazy,
2 goals,
right?
like you know, at the end of the game, so to win it. So it's still exciting. And I do think that hopefully this serves as a wake-up call. So 4 years from now, we could potentially be hosting the World Cup in 4 years, the Women's World Cup as well. We have a bid in. I don't think they announced it. Who's the host? But I know we do have a bid. That would be really cool to host back-to-back World Cups like that.
Well, they were saying that like as much tournaments that we've had, like I think we'd be the first country to host so many back-to-back tournaments like we're hosting, like especially FIFA soccer tournaments, big tournaments.
Yeah.
Copa America, freaking the World Cup.
That's how it should be.
Yeah, like the Club World Cup.
Because I'm not trying to wake up at 2 a.m. watching games.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to be.
Or make it a little closer to our time zone.
Exactly. So I'm for all
America.
Put everything in the U.S. Yo, put everything in the U.S. Every tournament, Champions League, whatever, Champions League final in the U.S. I don't care. Like I'm not trying to wake up at 2 a.m. I'm just not doing it.
There's a rumor about that too. There's a rumor about that.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
The Champions League being in America.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
it's crazy.
Although I will say, I love the experience of a Saturday morning watching the Premier League. I love that.
Just waking up,
a little hungover,
but because
with
we
some
have
coffee.
that.
Yeah, exactly.
Imagine if we had that for the World Cup.
But yeah. So
but then
that would be
outside.
different. That would be different. But so instead of like having games like, you know, in primetime slots like 7 p.m., 6 p.m., 5 p.m. or whatever, I do like waking up and just turn on the TV, watching the Premier League. Like that to me is really cool. So
a mimosa and World Cup,
or not even just like a cup of coffee, or like if you're not hungover. But that so I will say I do enjoy that, but I'm all for more tournaments being here because, bro, this waking up at 3 a.m. stuff is just definitely I'm sick of it.
I'm just so happy I don't have to have poofy eyes, like bloodshot eyes, because of watching the.
You're like that, but not because of watching the club, but it's because you're out and golfing till like 2 a.m. and drinking.
He's not golfing. He's golfing till like 9.
And then goes out to drink. And then he goes home. So that's why you're puffy eyed and all of that. Not because of the women. Don't blame it on the women. The women ain't the reason. Anyway, shout out to this girl that I met on my flight on my way to Calgary, Canada. Shout out to you. She had just come from Australia. She was out there watching the Women's World Cup game.
Canadian?
No. Yeah. She's Canadian. She was from Calgary. Yeah. No, and we were sitting together, and then I don't know how I got brought up, but she was telling us that she had just came back from Australia and she was on her own. She did her own little like trip.
That's cool.
It was a great time. Had an amazing time. Dude, I loved it. Like I was just like, the fact that I'm sitting here next to you and you went, like I'm really excited to be able to attend a Women's World Cup game one day.
4 years.
Whether it's out here.
Let's go to the final.
Let's go.
Sunday?
That's good.
It's real quick.
Just real quick.
Yeah, 24-hour trip.
Come back.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. If
it's
in the budget, I'm with it.
If you pay,
we'll play.
We make it happen.
Yeah. All right, but anything else? Like we gotta wrap this up. We gotta make this one quick today. We got
clearly.
We're a little short on time. Hey man, as long as we're completed, then it's all good. It doesn't matter how long.
As long as we finish, that's all that matters.
Like we finish all whatever we need. It doesn't matter how long it takes.
You be first, I'll be second. You know
what I'm saying? We got it done.
Top five. Hey, shout out to Drake being in LA.
Drake's in LA, huh?
Well, he was in LA.
Shout out to Drake. I went to his 28.
Shout out to Brigitte's Corner in Calgary, Canada. If you want to know where the vibes is at, Bridget's Corner in Calgary. That's where, I'm not going to lie, that's where the vibes were at. It was lit. It was lit. It was lit. I showed up and I'm like, it's me. I'm here.
And they're like,
Brigitte.
Free shots every hour.
So what was that spot like?
It was like a little like
restaurant.
It was like a dine-in little restaurant, and then we had the vibe that night, I guess.
So they had like a little lounge.
Like a little
Damn. All right.
Well, that's the next spot. We'll head out we'll do a podcast there.
Ooh.
Yeah, we'll record.
I heard Canadians are nice.
Everybody out there is really nice.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, but this has been the Urban Bitch Podcast, the beautiful game of life, part of the Believe Network. Keep it tapped in. We got more stuff coming. We got more guests. We got more solo episodes. We're covering all things here and there. But for Julio Montones and Brigitte Flores, I'm Ramsey Abushala. Appreciate y'all for watching. We'll catch you next time.